Right, in this video we're going to look at creating slightly more complex reverb build. So I've got a sound here, fairly ordinary drum sound, just to demonstrate that the simplest of sounds can be used for this technique. And I'm going to take a reverb and drag that as an insert onto the channel. We're going to turn off any kind of cuts that may be happening and turn the spin control all the way to the top, which will give us a kind of slightly, in fact let's just play it, give us a stereo effect to this reverb. So you can just hear that kind of a changing slightly between the left and the right. Let's get this on high quality, and we're going to make it 100% wet as well. And then we're going to use these the freeze function at the bottom here. Now what this does, let's just turn this down a little bit, is when I punch this in, it will capture the reverb at any given moment, and it will just continue with that reverb. So let's have a listen to that. Now what we have at the moment is this cut control set to on, and what that means is that every time this cycles through, it essentially has bypassed the reverb. So as soon as the freeze goes on, the reverb's completely bypassed and any other signals won't add to it. If we turn cut off, then every cycle more reverb will be added as it goes through this hit. So let's have a listen to that. Oh, turn the decay time up would help. And so on. So we need to have the cut turned to off, freeze turned to on, and the decay time all the way up to give us a nice thick sound. Then I'm going to zoom out and drag our loop brace over 9 bars. We're going to make a build over 8 bars here. And set up a new audio track to record this. So we want the audio from 15, set that to in, record arm, and this is now surplus to requirements, so I'm going to turn that off, get rid of that, set our track to auto, and we should now have the reverb. And I'm just going to chop this early bit off. In fact, I've taken a little bit too much off there. So we've now got perfect 8-bar loop of what is essentially noise, really, reverb noise. So first thing we're going to do with this is drag an auto filter onto the track and bump the volume up a little bit because it's quite quiet at the moment. Have this set to a low pass. I'm going to set this to somewhere around 400 and then automate the line so that the filter opens up over time. Then the next thing that we'll add to this is an EQ3. I'm just going to take this up to around 300 and add a complete cut there because we don't want this build muddying up our mix at all. And the next thing to add, I think let's go for an erosion, and we'll go for the hiss preset. Drag that in at the beginning. And let's have a little listen to this in action. So you can hear what that's bringing to the table. Now we want to have that before the signal, otherwise it's going to add this hiss the vast majority of the time, whereas in this case the hiss is happening in this frequency and we're not going to hear it until we get right to the end of the filter opening up over the 8 bars. Okay, what else? I like to always have a spectrum just so I can see what's happening at the end of the chain. And then the next toy that we'll add to this is going to be the filter delay. I'm going to turn the middle delay off and push the feedback up somewhere around 70 on both of these channels. And also move the independent filters up as well to catch the high signal but not so much of the low. So let's have a listen to what this is sounding like at the moment. Okay, so that's quite good. One other thing to do is just to give this a little bit of movement. So we're going to go into our clip. In fact, let's just consolidate this now. Okay, so we'll go into the clip, and I'm going to set up a volume envelope here. And we'll use the clip volume, and rather than go into the actual envelope over the period of time of the clip and draw in the various cuts, we'll use the cool function here to unlink the envelope from the clip. So this will now run independently of the actual audio clip. I'm going to set this to 1/4 bar to loop, and we'll just create a shape here to make this dry signal of the reverb just pump nicely. And so over the period of this 8 bars now, this will just loop 1/4 bar continuously. And that will give something a bit more interesting for the delay to work with. And you can see here. Okay, so let's drag this out and have a listen to what we've got now. Okay, just adjust the volume a little bit so it's easier to hear. Obviously this isn't good practice, this is purely for the video that I'm adjusting the master output. Okay, so I quite like that, but I can hear that we've just got the delay now and we're missing this pumping sound. It just sounds a bit odd, the way that disappears at the end. So I'm just going to take a couple of bars here, and we'll add the utility plugin. Where's a good place for that to appear? Before the filter. I can actually use this to turn the signal up a little bit. It would be a better way to do things than abusing the output of the track. And we'll just have that fade out at the end. Okay, now let's see what we've got. Okay, so there's some ideas for creating your own reverb builds. You can feed literally anything to these reverbs to get lots of different types of feel to this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Any comments, always welcome.